Los Angeles, the city of dreams, and today for one lucky team, it will be the backdrop for possibility as we welcome you to the 2026 WNBA Draft Lottery Special live from our LA studios. And we largely know how the rest of the draft looks like. Picks 6 through 15, we know the order. The new expansion teams, Portland and Toronto, they will pick either 6 or 7. This is for your 15-year-old Rebecca, 6, 7. There will be a coin flip to decide it at a later date, but we're here tonight to determine the top 5. And here are the representatives for those 5 teams, starting with the Dallas Wings. Coming off a career year, it's Maddie Siegrist. For the Seattle Storm, all-star forward Gabby Williams. And from the Chicago Sky, co-owner and operating chairman Nadia Rawlinson. Representing the Washington Mystics, it is all-star rookie Kiki Iriafen. For the Minnesota Lynx, we got Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidemann,
a.k.a. the Stud Bug.
Ayo. And finally, the Senior Vice President and Head of WNBA League Operations, Bethany Donovan. Now, just as a reminder, here are the odds entering the night, and may they be forever in your favor. These odds are determined by team record over the last 2 seasons combined, remember. That gives the Dallas Wings the best odds to land that top pick for a second consecutive year, followed by Minnesota, Seattle, Washington, and Chicago. Now,
women's basketball's coming in hot. We loaded, we ready, we go.
Flage, she's on another level right now. Big Bo is taking over.
No days off for Lauren Betts.
The reason why UCLA is so good. I would like to introduce all of America to our fam.
Bud accelerates, bodies, and banks. Bud swish.
Here is Miles, the three, got it.
Oh, what a move from Latson. Open, it's Latson.
we are moments away from finding out the selection order for the 2026 WNBA Draft. Now, the top of this year's class is full of diverse talent. There is a new age post player like Spain's Awa Pham, and then UCLA's defensive anchor, Lauren Betts. Rounding out the top 5 prospects are TCU's Olivia Miles, UConn's AZ Fudd, and LSU bucket getter Flage Johnson. So here's a breakdown on how the draft lottery process works. 4 lottery balls are drawn, creating a 4-digit combination. Now, 1,000 combinations are assigned to each of the 5 non-playoff teams from this past season. The team assigned the drawn 4-digit combination receives the #1 pick overall. The cumulative record over the past 2 seasons is used to determine the number of combinations assigned to each team. So the Wings, they have 420 combinations, the most of any team, and cannot drop lower than 3rd. Now, remember, 3 picks, they were acquired via trade. The Lynx, they acquired Chicago's pick in a trade. The Storm, they also traded for Los Angeles's pick. And the Sky ultimately worked their way back into the lottery, having acquired Connecticut's pick. Got it? All right, good. Here's what picks 6 through 15 look like. So without further ado, it is time for the WNBA Draft Lottery. Senior Vice President and Head of WNBA League Operations, Bethany Donovan, take it away.
Thank you, Malika, and good luck to all 5 teams. The 5th pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft goes to the Chicago Sky.
The Chicago Sky acquired the 2026 lottery pick from a trade with the Sun.
Picking 4th will be the Washington Mystics.
Ooh, so the Washington Mystics making the lottery pick for 4th time in 5 seasons. Of course, they took Kiki and Sonia Citron in 2025.
At number 3, it's the Seattle Storm.
The Seattle Storm will be picking 3rd overall, which means there are only 2 left. We are seconds away from finding out who will pick 1st and who will pick 2nd.
We're down to 2 teams vying for the top pick. The number 2 pick goes to the Minnesota Lynx. Which means the 1st pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft goes to the Dallas Wings.
Yeah.
both. I'd high five you all.
The Dallas Wings for a second consecutive season take home the #1 pick in the draft. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I think, Maddie, you've become some sort of a good luck charm.
I guess so.
Maybe you're hoping you're not going to be back again for a third consecutive year, but what's the feeling? What's the feeling of joining your group?
Super exciting. I mean, there's so many exciting things going around in Dallas. New coach, we're super excited with Jose, practice facility, obviously a couple of top picks the last few years, so we're just super excited to bring in another great prospect.
The good luck charm strikes again, Rebecca.
One of the rare teams that has a lot of young players on the roster, not a ton of free agents coming in. Just curious, what will make a player really fit well within what you guys are trying to do?
Just somebody who's wants to win. I think, we have an exciting young group, and we really get to, we really bond together, so I'm excited just to bring somebody else in.
Look, the Texas girl in me is happy, okay? What do you think the city of Dallas right now is doing right now, knowing that you have your odds in the favor?
I think they're cheering. I'm sure everybody's super happy. Hopefully, just can't wait.
There is something about the city of Dallas across leagues in basketball securing the #1 pick here, Maddie. There's something in the air. Congratulations once again to you and the entire Dallas Wings organization on securing the #1 pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft. So with the Wings securing the first pick, here is the complete order for the first round of the 2026 WNBA Draft. There's a lot of intrigue at the top, and that's where we start with the Wings for the second straight year. So when we talk about fit, Rebecca, who is the best fit for Dallas to select #1?
Well, first of all, I think the entire state of Connecticut and any UConn Husky fans across the country are thrilled with the notion that AZ Fudd could potentially rejoin with Paige Beckers down in Dallas. And I do think she would be a phenomenal fit there, just because we saw how good those two were together on the court over the past couple of years. But to me, AZ Fudd, because of her ability to score and the way she can shoot, it's a Dallas team that was second to last a season ago in terms of three-point field goal percentage. Right away, you can bring an efficient scorer in, and we already know that those two, Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd, have an incredible connection.
Since you are, at times, Team Huskies, I'm just wondering, is that more talent-driven or is it more chemistry-driven? that's what I'm, you know what I mean? Is that what you're saying?
It's prospect-driven.
Okay, prospect. That's it. So if you put AZ at 1, then maybe we go to Minnesota at 2.
Okay.
And I have an eye, again, on All-of-Fam because nowadays it's so great when you're big, can push the rock, can distribute, can also shoot, can score, can face up. That's excellent in pick-and-roll scenarios. I mean, that is the level. You see that right there, the footwork of physicality that you need.
Right.
Now, this is a team, and I think a big point that people should know is that we don't know who's going to be on all these rosters.
Yeah.
These teams can all have different identities, but if things remain the same, I do believe that Minnesota really needed a little bit more oomph from the post position. A lot of pressure was on Nafisa. I know Atlanta Smith was, Defensive Player of the Year, but I do think adding depth there helps.
And when you look at a team like Minnesota, you would assume their priority is going to be re-sign Nafisa Collier. And who is a great complement to Nafisa Collier? A lot of different players, but Fam could be one because they play on different areas of the floor. And that's one place that Minnesota didn't have a long defensive player like that.
But what's interesting, too? It's like you're kind of missing that one that can go out there. And we're talking about Defensive Player of the Years, like Lauren Betts. Also, there are options for them at 2.
Right now, All-of-Fam is #1 on the mock draft. And it's interesting because Jose Fernandez, who was hired by the Wings in late October, he has an extensive background in recruiting overseas and in Europe. So it would be interesting to see if that could also be a fit in Dallas, Shanae.
I couldn't help myself. I texted my former coach, Kurt Miller, who is running, obviously the GM of the Dallas Wings, and he said LFG. So excited.
And you're going to translate that on TV?
No. I just kept it at the acronyms.
In a Dallas Wings franchise that spent about a week overseas watching Fam over the course of the last couple of weeks. So, they've got eyes on.
So what does the next couple of months look like between now and the draft as you're looking here at the Dallas Wings roster, who's under contract, and some key free agents that we could be seeing and monitoring here? What are the priorities for Dallas as they march towards this decision? One thing of note, I'm so glad that Kiki Irifin was here because Washington represents what you'd want to build when you have young cores. You have Paige Beckers, you obviously have Maddie, you have Isaiah, JJ. They have a lot of stud young players. The fact that you can get another one to add to the fold, this is a time where you say, all right, our timeline begins. We want to be a championship team. It's not going to take 1 or 2 years, but maybe 3 or 4 we can be that next dynasty.
So because we have to have a bigger conversation at some point about free agency. Let's see the graphic for what the Minnesota roster looks like, because this is going to be similar for teams like the Las Vegas Aces, potentially the New York Liberty as well. Because when you look at the Minnesota Lynx roster, free agent, free agent, free agent, free agent.
Only
we do
one
not
player
know.
under contract.
We do not know. Their entire starting five is not under contract. We do not know what teams are going to look like. So right now, projecting who's going to fit on a team is going to be very different from when we project after free agency. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah, so just one player.
So one player.
Yep.
One player. And what I will say is the teams that typically will want to stick together are the teams that are close to the mountaintop. Because you could just say, hey, all of us, like, we were this close, we have goals. Can we keep the band together and see if we can get over that
We
hump?
don't know what the money situation is going to look like with the new CBA. So free agency is going to determine a lot of what the draft looks like as well.
To speak to earlier, we asked Bethany about what this next week looks like for the CBA and the negotiations that are ongoing. And obviously, there's only so much that can be said at this point as those conversations are still happening. But this is a very unprecedented time, right? The next couple of months, a lot is going to be taking shape in this league that'll eventually then shape the draft order that we just decided here today, Rebecca.
Well, number one, let's let them take Thanksgiving off. So November 30th is probably unrealistic. Let's keep in mind the last couple of times that we had CBA negotiations, they were not signed until January or February. So people, because there's a lot more people paying attention to this one, who are freaking out that it hasn't been signed or hadn't been signed by the October 31 deadline, do not worry. January, February is probably a realistic time frame for this one, and we should be thankful if it happens before that.
Yeah, in my experience on the executive committee of the WNBA and watching my sister Nneka lead as president of the Players Association, like, the deal sort of got done, like you said, the last week of December, just fine-tuning, and then it was publicly in January. So we still have a little bit of time, and I love your idea of, hey,
give them Thanksgiving. Give them Thanksgiving.